got media correspondent, lifestyle blogger. Mimi Green is in here with us. Mimi, you on with the husbands?
Yeah.
What's up, husband?
Look how she talk to us now.
I know.
She used to us. She'll be like, wow, you guys are awesome. I really like what you're doing here. Mimi was like, hey, y'all.
Yeah, no. That's what I came to talk to y'all.
Oh,
Y'all was really getting into it.
we was feeling it, and I'm glad you're here to help us have this conversation.
For sure.
Because listen, what you been up to? How things been? I see you out there doing your thing. You working? Where you working with St. Jude? Who is this?
Yeah, I'm a St. Jude ambassador.
Man. Ooh.
So I love St. Jude. They take care of the kids, and unlike most places, if you have to go to St. Jude, it's like the best place to go at the worst time of your life.
Right.
They literally just want you to focus on taking care of your kids. So whatever treatment you get there, they don't charge you for. They don't pay for your medical care, your lodging, your food, your travel.
Wow. That's amazing.
So I love them.
You're all over the place.
I'll be trying.
You actually covered Black Girls Rock this month.
Yes, at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah. How was that? What was that experience like?
It reminded me how old I was.
Wait, what that mean?
So the first night was a Friday night. It had an opening party. So it was from 7 to 11. And Beverly Bond, who's the founder of Black Girls Rock, who's also a DJ and MC Light.
Oh wow.
Partied from 7 to 11. I was like, I can't remember the last time I danced this hard and this long.
For real?
But
7 to 11?
Yes, it was free. It was open to the public. There was some men in there, largely women
was
though.
Supposed to go.
But it was a good time. It was old school. It was new school.
Really?
You were, having it was like a good old school party,
Felt
which is
the
something we don't have.
sisterhood, though.
Yes.
Really?
Make new friends, take selfies.
Well, that's what you do.
That kind of stuff.
That's what you do. Like, she walked up on Denzel Washington like, hey, come here right quick. Let me record you.
Let me record you.
He was like, bet. He was
like, let me record you.
He was like, bet. Yeah, he like, boom. You want my wife too? Boom. Kodak.
Y'all are ridiculous.
But look, I want to bring you in on this real quick. Just get right to it. I really want to hear from a woman's perspective. How equal do women really want it? Because I'm personally, I get confused. Why are you talking like that?
I feel like the world has gotten too sensitive about every damn thing.
Really?
Opening a door for me has nothing to do with my gender. It has everything to do with manners.
Wow.
I hold the door open. If there's a woman coming in behind me, I'm going to hold the door open for her.
Yeah.
If there's a woman in front of me and she doesn't hold the door, I'm probably going to roll my eyes and tell her she ain't got no home training. But that has nothing to do with being a man or being a woman. It's common courtesy. How were you raised?
Yeah. But see, when I open the door for my wife, I get out of my car, I go all the way around to her side, especially if the key fob ain't working. Like, I got to unlock my door on my side, then walk all the way around.
It's not like the Bronx Tale.
Well, it is a lot of work. It is a Bronx Tale.
That's a good movie.
But that's what I do. But you know what though? She was like.
But that's your wife.
Yeah, true.
You do things obviously for your wife that you aren't gonna do for every woman. But holding the door open is common courtesy. Men hold the door open for me. Women, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day and keep it pushing. It's not that deep. Why am I gonna be offended? Because somebody did a kind gesture for me, so I'm gonna be mad.
Well, what if you're on the train and do you expect a man to give you his seat?
No,
you don't.
I don't expect anybody to do anything. If you do, then I appreciate it.
What if you standing there, right? And he
Listen, I took the train both times I was pregnant. I worked the entire time. Now, generally, people will offer me a seat, men and women.
Right.
If I'm that tired and I want to sit down, excuse me, sir, can I have that seat?
Really, just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some people are like, you ain't gonna get up for her. Like, of course, I think
some of that stuff is generational.
Okay.
If there's seats open, why do you need to give up your seat?
Well, yeah, if there's seats open, obviously. But if there's no seats open.
If you want to, you can ask. Sometimes men will say, ma'am, is the seat here? You want a seat? No, thank you, I'm good.
I just don't feel right sitting in my seat if there's a woman standing up. Not that she's weak, but I just feel like...
That's exactly what you're saying, bro.
I'm not
that woman can't stand.
No.
Look at her.
There's something wrong with that man and you don't know.
That's
so you
true.
can't get an attitude with him.
And I
got
don't.
something going on that he can't stand up.
And I don't. I don't judge guys who don't get up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What if he split his pants or something like that?
No.
You know what I'm saying? You know how that goes.
I think there's some obvious. Oh my God! You know what?
Oh, damn.
Stu, don't let him do you like
Buddy.
that.
Put it down.
I was just joking. That was a joke. That was a joke.
I think there's some times where it's different. If there's a woman who's big and pregnant standing in front of you and you sitting down, then yes, the courteous thing is to offer her a seat.
Right.
But you can't make somebody.
But you bring up a good point. You bring up a good point. A pregnant woman. See, I think biology just changes the thing, right? Because there are times that women are going to be physically more vulnerable than men are. And I think for that reason, I say, I can let her stand, but I won't let her stand. I think I
But
just feel like-
generally, when you're pregnant, even the rudest people tend to be more courteous to you.
I'm just saying in general.
Even the little hood rat teenagers. When I was pregnant on the train, sometimes they'd fuss at each other. Sometimes the girls might fuss at the boys and be like, she's pregnant. Let her sit down.
Okay.
So now generally they aren't that way though.
Oh, shoot.
But because I was big and pregnant, they were more aware and they were more courteous.
April. Hello, April.
April.
She says she's sitting on laps if they ain't getting up.
Really? Wow.
Wow.
April about to be in a whole nother situation.
For real. She going to that Cardi style.
Cardi like that. I heard y'all talking about Cardi.
Oh, so what do you think about that?
So, well, let me just say, I haven't read these stories. I've seen them on
Okay,
social media.
okay.
I think it's one thing if you're having a conversation about some things you've done in your past. It's
okay.
one thing if that's something that you are actively doing in your everyday life right now.
Okay.
Also, I don't compare robbing someone to raping someone. That's not the same thing.
Really?
you say-
Like robbing is
Wrong is wrong.
Okay.
But raping someone and taking somebody's watch or taking money out there, those two things are just not equal.
I think that.
Also,
If
don't
you-
compare her to R. Kelly. She's not preying on young
Well, I'm
people.
not talking about
Like,
that. I'm not talking about the crime itself. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the actual act, apples to apples. I ain't talking about
Okay.
that. I'm
crime
talking
and
about
crime.
crime and crime, and I'm
Okay.
talking about the fact that the premeditated thinking out of. All right, that's the one we're gonna get. Like
Cardi was a young girl from the hood who was a stripper.
Cardi's still a young girur from the hood. Depending on which video you watch,
I just
she's
wanna
still a
say
stripper.
that if you on my page, she's going on there. She's like, yeah.
But honestly, I mean, I don't know. If you're doing it right now, that's definitely a problem.
Listen,
However,
people are getting pulled up for
it's a
stuff that
whole
they
lot
not
of
doing
people
no
that
more.
have done some questionable things in their past, and just because they're not a celebrity, you're not on social media having a full conversation about.
I agree. You're not. I'm just saying.
But
if you,
I don't know. I don't.
If you gonna
I
go
don't
down
know.
that road, if you gonna, where do you stop? You can't pick and choose.
It's hard because society does pick and choose. Because white people get away with a lot of stuff that black people don't, whether it's crime
Very
or
true.
just some regular stuff.
Yeah, that's
So
true. That's
Society
true.
is never going to be equal.
That's true.
Also, traditionally, men get away with a whole lot of stuff
Wait
that
a
y'all
minute.
want to hold women to a
I don't
higher
get it.
standard.
I don't
to.
get away
with it.
Wait,
wait. No.
Because boys gonna be boys and men
Example.
gonna be
I'll
men.
go- hey, give
Oh,
me
but
an
as a
example.
woman,
Give us
we
an
supposed to
example.
sit around with our pearls on and be the
Give us-
classiest.
Yes, you are.
And then you get the woman in the bedroom, and then you mad she all prissy and classy because you want her to be nasty. So you can't have it
Wait
both
a
ways.
minute.
I don't know what man you're talking about.
Oh,
But nothing like these guys.
I'm gonna tell you right
Y'all
now.
husbands, don't get it twisted
I
now.
don't know what's going on there.
Y'all
you
ain't-
know what we doing there.
Somebody,
Y'all ain't
we
celibate.
married.
somebody is thanking the gods that Mimi is here tonight. Like,
Wow.
shut up straight.
Y'all not gonna come for us. And
Yeah.
just because this
Wow.
month in particular celebrates us, y'all need to be celebrating us every month.
Hey,
You know,
That's right.
yeah, you're right about
This
that.
We
is
brought y'all in this
No,
world,
you-
we will take you out.
You right. Whoa.
Wow.
You brought it in,
Huh.
but we put it there. You brought it in, but we put it there.
Can you grow people
Sit
with
it
your
there.
body?
Sit it there.
Can
Sit
your
it
body
there.
grow people
Can
without
your
my
body
people?
grow
Sit it there.
people?
You sit it there.
Can
Sit
your
it
body
there.
feed
Sit it
people?
there. Sit it there.
Nobody's body can grow people without
needs to
each
be
other. It just
perfect.
I don't
can't
care.
happen.
I don't
Wow.
care.
It can't happen.
You don't have no stretch marks to prove it. We don't want to hear about it.
I'm just saying
I
that
do.
no-
No, let me stop.
You do.
Y'all are ridiculous.
Oh man, I will say this. I will say,
Christina says hello, by the way. Christina Rice.
that's one of your people. Whichever Christina that is.
Christina Rice.
Yes, it's my best friend.
Oh, cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, she always chat on here with
I
her.
see that this show is a family affair. Like our people actually watch it. And you know what's crazy? Like people we absolutely know watch the show, and people we have no clue who they
Watch
are
the show.
watch the show. It's crazy.
That's good though.
It is good. It's good. I mean, we got a lot of
It's hard to impress your own people, the people you know. It's easy to impress strangers.
No. That's real talk. Because when we first
Because they were
started,
like, you ain't funny.
people watched the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
After that, we had to get a
fall off.
whole new audience.
Yeah.
Real talk. I know, and you know about
It's
it. 'cause
hard
you
to
out there
impress
for
the
real.
people you know.
It's worse.
Because
Like
they still
you not.
see you as who you were before
That's
that.
it. Like you ain't all that.
And they be like,
I knew you went.
he's still lazy, or he's still this, he's still that. It's harder to
I
impress.
got a question.
What?
Dang.
I mean, what you
What?
Jumped on a single man.
You might want to change that a little bit. I want to change that. Say what?
Say what? Say what one more time? Go Pulp Fiction, huh, man?
But yeah, what does equality look like in the workplace?
It's still a man's world. And so,
Talk slow.
even now, it's sad that there's still women doing things for the first time ever.
Like what? Like what? What are you talking about?
Like, just accomplishments.
I mean,
Like, we celebrate, the first black woman did this.
Well, yeah, I
Or
think
the first woman did that.
that's
All
true.
these years later, and we still just at the first.
that's true. I mean, that's a lot for black people too. Just in
I
general,
think,
it's like,
I think there's a lot of dynamics going on. Men have the all boys club, right? So you bring in your homie
Well, let me ask you
over
this.
your homegirl.
Well, wait. Do you think it's the same for like black guys?
I think there are levels to it.
Okay.
Oh.
I think there are definitely levels to it. There's race is an issue. Your ethnicity is going to play a part of it. Men will pick men before they'll pick a woman.
Oh.
Okay. Hey, you said you're speaking in general terms.
Yeah, so in general terms. So it's like they didn't want Hillary to be a president. But a lot of it was not even about her policies. It's because she's a woman.
But it was women. It was women who didn't vote for Hillary.
But there's
though.
some women who got the same thought process.
Oh.
And you
So-
think that's based on society?
I think some of it is society. Some of it is just your money. There's classes to it. Some of it is just your upbringing. Some of it is a lack of exposure. It's a lot of things that play a part in it. But I mean, something simple as pay. So if we're doing the same job, why do you have to be paid more than I am? We're doing the same job. You hired me because I was qualified, not because I was a punk. So why you want to pay me less?
But
than
check
if I
this
was
out.
qualified?
Like if we look at the biology of the situation, just follow me. Just follow me. The biology of the situation. Even if we got paid the exact same thing, you still probably make less money than me because you won't be as work as much as I am. In general, women have kids and they're out for spans of time. I'm just saying, like, look, the biology
But
of the
when
situation.
I'm using leave, so I didn't put in my time for this.
But see, then that's not equal because guys don't get that same thing.
Well, you do now.
No.
Not everywhere.
You know what?
Not everywhere.
So
Not everywhere.
the federal government only within the last, let me see, my daughter's 5 years, provided maternity leave for women.
I'm trying to think back.
Now we don't get pregnant by ourselves.
Oh.
Right. And
So this
now
man-
you wanna admit
this-
that.
No, you
Now
ain't
you
grow
wanna
it.
admit
You
that.
helped make it, but you didn't grow it. But you wanted this woman to have your baby.
Yup.
But you don't want to make sure she's taken care of while she's bringing your baby into this world.
Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Well,
Listen.
not you in general, but I'm just saying.
Wait, can I tell you my experience?
Yes.
So I worked with a woman who owned the company. She did not want to hire young women because of that right
Having
there.
babies.
Well, because they would take off and have babies and work would not be.
And see, that's what I mean by the biology
And so
of it.
it's because
It affects profitability, right?
Yes, billable hours.
I don't know.
No. I'm not
Well,
telling you that you don't know. I'm
I
telling you what
believe-
happened.
I do believe that women do that. I've had 2 supervisors who don't have children, and their outlook on women with children is really archaic.
Right.
And mostly it's because that's not their experience. That's not their story. So what if I have a baby and my spouse ends up being the stay-at-home parent? Now you've judged me and decided that I can't come to work. I got to do all of this stuff. What if my spouse is at home with our baby and that's not my story? You can't paint people with a broad stroke because one size does not fit all.
But it's done, and a lot of times
It is done, and it's not fair, but it is done.
But you know what? talking about chivalry, like different things that we have to do. You actually have to, because of the biology, take extra special care to give a woman certain things because, you know, she's going to have to be out. So it actually ain't going to be equal. It kind of tilts to her more if we doing things like that.
It depends.
And in fact,
because we generally doing more work with these babies.
I don't know about that. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Wait.
You might be in the wrong room for that.
What you gonna say? We equal in here.
We equal until we not.
I don't know about that.
Because your body don't produce milk to feed this baby. So as equal as y'all want to be, if your wife is the one who is breastfeeding this child,
but that's not all.
Over getting your good sleep and she up feeding this baby.
But that's not all.
No, it's not.
Because you can't say that she up feeding the baby because you can pump and I can feed the baby while you sleep. So you can't just
formula?
say I'm not going with the formula.
And there's formula in these streets.
All women don't breastfeed.
No,
A lot of them don't.
So it's like we I'm not mad. Shut up.
That's right. Slow down, big fella. Shut up, stupid. I ain't mad.
I'm saying that I agree with you saying that I believe that women should be paid the same amount of money. I do. But what I disagree is saying that it's not equal at home. I think each situation is different, and I think that there is a certain level of responsibility that both parties need to bring to the table, so it's not feeling like one person is doing more than the other.
Yeah.
So with that being said, to the point of being paid more, I think that it's up to the business to figure out what the intentions are of the employee that they're trying to hire.
But don't you think
that's none of your business.
Not so much so. Not so much so. I'm saying if I have a business. And I case in point, my own business. If I'm a videographer and I'm hiring for somebody, I need them to be there. Case in point, if there's a premiere somewhere, I'm gonna need somebody to be there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not even a thing of being paid for more. I'm picking a person that's gonna be the most reliable.
But how do you know who that is?
I'm not saying that it isn't. But if you come into the job pregnant, then
the biology of the situation.
If you come into the job, if you're pregnant during the interview and you know for sure, that's one thing.
Right.
But all women don't want kids, so you can't just assume I'm not going to
I
hire
agree
her
with that. I
because
agree with that.
she's a woman and she may. Or
No,
you have
I'm not
women who want kids who can't have kids. Like there are all kinds
I'm
of
not saying that,
circumstances. No, I'm not saying you're saying
I'm looking at him.
Leave him alone.
No, maybe get him. You're dogging him right now. You're dragging him.
But you also have men that you can hire and they're lazy and they don't do good work. So it's
it's lazy men and women. It's lazy men and women.
So what I'm saying is you can't go down into someone's personal decisions in their life choices in the interview to dictate what their time off is going to be. You could get cancer right now. You didn't plan that, but now you got to be time off because life is going to happen no matter what. You hire somebody because they are the most efficient and they are most qualified to do that job. So whether I'm on maternity leave or not, you should know that Mimi is a good worker. She's going to get the job done no matter what. If I'm going to be out for 8 weeks because I'm having a baby, then trust and believe that I have done everything I need to do to make sure the business goes on while I'm not there.
True, but
So there are things that can be done.
So I need to get a temp while you gone.
No.
Listen, as a person who has a
But
small
what if
business,
I was on vacation for 2 months? I got leave. I can go.
But so I need to get a temp though?
You need to do whatever you want to do in your business structure.
Now,
you need to prepare because
the
people are going to go on
biology of the
vacation.
situation-
Things are going to happen. It's not always a baby.
It makes it that way because of the biology of the situation. I think that we don't need to. I'm not saying we need to erase the biology because it's true, and I think under normal life circumstances, barring any of these things that may happen that are not, a part of the norm. It's normal for women to have children. It's normal that a woman's going to have to be out of the workplace. And I'm saying that it shouldn't be that we have to erase that's going to be the case.
Do you not take paternity leave?
No. Listen, I'm telling you, I got married and I was back that Monday. Every time I had a baby, I was back, right back. Now, there was a time when it did happen. My wife worked and I worked from home, and I was with them kids. Like she would have a baby, and it was me there with them.
Okay.
You know, and that happened for a lot of years. You know, and if it happened today, it would sort of be like that. Like I would be at home trying to do my work and have these babies. Like, dear God, please don't let that happen again.
This is not a confession. Will.
No, I ain't saying that. Dear God, no. No.
He out there for-
Lord, I would love it, but I can't do this no more.
Oh, okay. I thought we was going to get the exclusive.
Listen, this is the reality of being a stay-at-home dad. Like, okay, you first of all, I don't know. Me personally, I could not just live my life taking care of the baby. So I always had something working. But man, they take over everything.
They do.
Everything.
They do.
My wife wasn't there breastfeeding. I was in there with that formula. Like
what's wrong
Like,
with
what's
you?
time to feed this baby won't stop
for
crying?
real, what's crazy? Like, God, help me. Never again, God, please.
Never again?
Please.
How many
It's
times you
crazy.
say never again?
And you're
I
at
got 6 kids.
Oh.
So I'm just saying.
Clearly, you
like,
can't be trusted. Your word is not your bond.
your method does not work.
I'm gonna just put the
like,
tip in.
like,
failing.
maybe one more time, Lord. Maybe one more time.
How quick you forget.
Ain't nothing quick about it. One more time.
Let me see something real quick.
Y'all are terrible.
Oh man.
Poor thing.
You know, we were
Man.
supposed to talk about the Us movie. Then we running out of time. And the reason I'm gonna talk about it real quick. So, you know, Jordan Peele's movie Us. It hit the screen. Record breaking. They called it a classic already.
Are we about to talk about it?
We gonna talk about it real quick. Y'all
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
We ain't gonna spoil it too
No,
much.
no spoilers. I
Okay,
haven't
okay.
watched it.
You haven't
yeah,
watched it.
Listen.
It's really good, man.
I'm torn. I don't like scary movies. I don't
But
like.
listen.
I don't like suspenseful movies, like M. Night
You can do
Shyamalan
it.
movies. I don't need to be
For real?
stressed out for 2 hours to find out it was the cat in it. I don't need that kind of pressure in my
Hey,
life.
you can-
but
you can
I
do
do.
it.
I'm curious,
You
and
can
I
do
do want to
You can
see
do
it.
it. You can do it.
Well,
Trust
look,
me.
I don't know if I am,
Trust
but I
me.
do want to.
You talking about somebody who's scared of Michael Jackson's Thriller? Laugh. You can do it.
That is
Yeah,
so
that's
true.
That's true. That's true.
Did you
so
enjoy
true.
it?
Yes.
Also, do you have to think a whole lot? Like I've watched
It's
a lot of
Jordan
his
Peele.
interviews,
It's Jordan
and
Peele.
he
Gonna-
talked about the layers. And sometimes I
layers.
just want a carefree
I'ma go
moment.
see
I
it.
just
I'ma
want
go
to
see it
watch
again.
it and
I'ma go
not
see
think
it
that
again.
You
hard.
can be carefree. I saw it twice. I went
Okay.
once carefree, and the second time I went to analyze it for this
Okay.
show, hoping that everybody.
So
would
you
see
were
it.
more focused,
But
and you noticed some different
actually,
things?
I was actually like watching in a different way.
Okay.
And you know, it was good for me because I could really sort of, in a way, analyze the movie. I think there's a lot of things you can pull from it. But one thing in particular that stood out to me is with this conversation we're having. If you see the movie, you'll notice that Lupita Nyong'o and what's my man's name,
Winston Duke.
Winston Duke, their characters in the movie.
Wait, are you about to spoil something?
I'm not about to spoil it.
Because
I'm
people
talking-
just said no spoilers.
I ain't spoiling. I'm just talking
Okay.
about the nature of the characters.
All right, they not
Okay.
spoiling America.
I'm not spoiling.
They're not spoiling.
The nature of the characters is that you see mom sort of take charge.
Okay.
Right? You see the woman get into the seat of power, and there's a line in the movie where she says to him,
You don't get to make those decisions.
He
no
said,
more.
"He said we're doing this, and that's final." And she said, "You don't get to make those decisions."
I ain't like
anymore."
that part.
Oh
But
man!
maybe
Why
that.
you
Maybe,
ain't
but
like that part?
sometimes your roles will change. That doesn't mean that's for everything. Maybe whatever was going on was more in her wheelhouse. Maybe that's her strong suit.
No, I
so let
think-
her take the reins
think
for the
I-
minute because you didn't fail or she don't like the way you're doing it.
But I think a concentrated effort is being made to, like, pull it back and say, we aren't who we are as a man in the house. Like,
Did you feel attacked?
I didn't feel attacked. No, I'm talking about it just in society in
Society in
general.
general.
It's saying that my role is not important.
Whoa.
You know, and certain ways shows are being put out and strategically placed is having to question is like saying, okay, I'm gonna have to really pay attention to what's going on in this house so we understand what the structure is here.
Right.
And because a lot of times America is building it where, especially as a black man, is building it is that we can't lead anymore. And that right there in itself is troubling to me. And like when I heard that line, I was like, that screamed to me that they're trying to me.
I got you.
To
I hear
me,
you.
it screamed to me that we aren't important. We can't make decisions now. You know, and I wholeheartly support strong women.
Absolutely.
I hope, because I have a daughter who I'm raising. I point her to you. I point her to our superintendent of Prince George's County Public Schools. I point her to strong people in position, but I also point her to how my wife and our marriage works, and like how it is. And this is and I can only say this for our house. When there's a decision that needs to be made, a tough one, I'll consult. We'll talk. But when it comes down to it, I need to make the decision. You know, that falls back on me as far as to say, all right, this is what we're going to do.
And you know what?
And I think a lot of times people are saying, no, that's wrong. You can't do that anymore. And I'm like, why are we getting away from that?
But what works for you works for you, and that's fine.
Right.
And you know what?
There are a lot of different dynamics in people's households.
That's true.
Some people are more traditional, and some people aren't. Things have changed, but what works for you, do what works for you, and you know, for your household.
I listen. My lifestyle reflects yours, and I think when Keith Battle was here, and he said, you know, not everybody lives like I live, and I can't impose that on them, you know. And I think for both you and me, a lot of how our house is run is affected by our faith, right?
Yeah.
And so, and that's why we do. But here's the interesting thing that I got from it, right? When you watch him say, or you watch her say that line, and watching the movie, I'm not gonna spoil it. When you watch that character, to me, he seems secure enough to say, hey, it's cool, and go along, but you watch his character through the movie.
He backs down.
But look, Randy, he's there, right? He ain't some dude that ran off. He's there, always there for his family. I mean, I say it like this. Not all the time does a man have to be vocal and still be sort of a foundational rock.
You
in his
can still
household.
be heard and definitely not.
Right, and not be vocal. You can even have the final say without saying anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying that I heard what you were saying about that, but look, in watching that movie and because the first time I saw it, I was like, oh no, they ain't about to do that to me, right? But
Do
when
y'all
I watched
watch
it again,
This Is Us?
he does.
I do.
You see the dynamic going on between Randall and his wife right now?
Listen, I haven't watched the last one. Don't.
Okay.
No
I'm not
spoilers.
gonna spoil it for you.
That's
But
my
if y'all
show.
watch, even if you don't watch the whole show right now, it's a husband and wife and they're going back and forth.
Yes.
They're having troubles in their marriage. She feels like all these years she's put her career on a back burner for her family, and now she finally has realized which it is she wants to do, and she doesn't feel like she has her husband's support. He has his own path that he wants to do, and so the dynamic is like, well, I have pushed my wants aside for you all these years, and now I finally want to go after it, and you're not supporting me. So it's an interesting dynamic kind of going on there, but it's really good.
That's really
it's the real dynamic of marriage. It's the fact that you grow in different ways. You're in different seasons and different things going on. But it is a really, really good example of the conversation.
I'm so glad you said it, because you know what? Sometimes that people can take that and say that's what men do to women, but you know what? That's that dynamic of caregiver and the person who's leaving the home. Because the truth is, I gave up a lot of years of my life being there, trying to do things that I could. Look, people call me, hey, can you come over here to this state and speak? Like, I can't do it. I can't leave my kids that long. Anything I did had to be local. I had to do all local gigs. People calling me from outside, you know, and people inviting me to. I got invited to a conference in the Bahamas once. I couldn't go. Like, I can't leave my kids, you know. And then at a certain point, I can go, but then it's like the dynamic.
Yeah, you know? and it's like, okay, I want you to be fulfilled in your way, and I want to be fulfilled in my way. But how do we make that work for our family dynamic?
And that's it.
And that's
how
kind
you
of
make
the
it work
struggle.
for the family. And you realize that, man, it's not that you are on opposite sides. You just have to figure it out.
Yeah. But some of it comes down to personalities.
Yeah.
As women, generally, we're naturally nurturers, and so we'll take on some things and kind of let you go, but at the same time, don't forget that I still have dreams and aspirations, and I want to go after them, and I want you, and I need your support.
Absolutely.
Wow.
But still know that the house gonna be taken care of.
Yeah. I think,
Amen,
man,
child.
that is very profound. I'm glad we got into that, because you know, that's real talk, man. People need to hear that, man. People need to hear that, man. I had another segment, but we got so good with Mimi right here. Thank Mimi for coming, man.
Mimi.
Thank you for having me.
This was a great conversation.
I always have a good time with y'all.
I know, man. I enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.